Good evening, and welcome to Reading Things with a Southern Accent 2020. This is episode, I think it's 52. It's 51 or 52. We are dangerously close to finishing up Dr. Suess week here on the show. And that means we need to find a new theme. We've discussed Jane Austen, coming in from the producer. She's with me. Jane Austen. Jane Eyre? Jane Austen. Jane Eyre wrote Jane Austen? Jane Austen wrote Jane Eyre. Okay. And she wrote those Mr. Darcy books. Who's he?
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice. Right. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Those are lady books. I'm getting a look. So we got to figure that out. We got to find some Jane Austen. I almost said Charlotte Bronte. Bronte? Is that a different author? Okay. Man, oh man. So as we wrap up Dr. Suess as our thing. So here's the break. Stop. Tomorrow night, we might have to do the show at a different time because there is a curbside concert going on here in the neighborhood, and I have told the performer that I would live stream it on my system here. Now, if that doesn't happen, we can go at 6 o'clock, and I'll just take a break from hanging out in the yard for the curbside concert. If we do end up streaming the performance, then we may have to go early. So I will post tomorrow to let anyone know what time, if it's different. Is that a good plan? If you don't see anything, it's still going to happen at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Because tomorrow, as we finish, as my promises were, because I do think tomorrow is the thing. Yeah. So perfect timing. I'm going to read, she's hitting herself in the head over here. I'm going to read Oh, the Places You'll Go tomorrow for the graduates. Because tomorrow, I believe they're doing the virtual graduation ceremony for Summit High School. Yes, Summit High School, which is, there's one high school in this county, and that's the one. So, public. Oh my goodness. There's one public high school. So I'm going to read that tomorrow. It may be at 4:30 Mountain Time. It may be at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. I will post and let you know when that is going to happen. Twain. We have Mark Twain. Mark Twain is an option. I have a book of Mark Twain over there behind the desk. It's about this thick. So as we wrap, not tonight, but tomorrow, but let's go over a little bit of Dr. Suess. What did we learn about Dr. Suess? Suess. He pronounced his last name Suess, but he decided to adapt the excuse me. Can you hear that? I haven't eaten since breakfast. I didn't really eat breakfast. I had a biscuit. The Americanized version of his German last name, Suess, because it rhymed with Mother Goose, and at the time Mother Goose was a very popular children's author, so he thought that that was a good idea. So Dr. Suess was actually Dr. Suess. His name is Theodor Suess Geisel, born in 1904, died in 1991. Oscar winner, illustrator, poet, cartoonist, political cartoonist, children's author, and animator. He wrote 40 He wrote and illustrated 44 books, and then he wrote 16 more books under the name Theo Lessig. And maybe there was another one. Rosetta Stone. He actually used the pen name Rosetta Stone. And I wonder, the producer is asking, I wonder if there's like an EGOT or Dr. Seuss, something the equivalent of an EGOT, since he was, and if you don't know what an EGOT is, it's Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, EGOT. And there's only a few people that have done that. John Legend is one. Who else is EGOTted? I think, I know Tracy Morgan's character on 30 Rock was always talking about wanting to get an EGOT. Philip Michael Thomas? Seriously? Do you know who Philip Michael Thomas is?
The acronym was, sorry. He came up with the acronym.
Oh. Philip Michael Thomas came up with the acronym. Dr. Seuss added doctor to his name because his father wanted him to be a doctor. All right, so tonight we are reading a story called... Huh?
It's a peacock.
A peacock? Is that like is that a Peabody?
And
Or a Pulitzer? Peabody. Good grief. I'm just a lowly Emmy winner over here.
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn EGOTted?
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg.
John Legend.
John Legend.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Tim Rice.
Tim Rice.
Robert Lopez.
Who?
I don't know.
Robert Lopez. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually that Lin-Manuel Miranda, or however you say his Miranda, Lin-Manuel Miranda, I wouldn't be surprised if he does an EGOT at some point. Okay, Sneetches is our story tonight. The Sneetches. The Sneetches and Other Stories is a collection of stories by the American children's author Dr. Seuss, published in 1961. It is composed of 4 separate stories with themes of tolerance, diversity, and compromise. Based on a 2007 online poll, the National Education Association named the book one of its teachers' top 100 books for children. So teachers have chosen it to be the top 100 books. In 2012, it was ranked number 63 among the top 100 picture books in a survey published by School Library Journal. Okay? The first of the story, which is the one we will read tonight, is called The Sneetches. In the collection, the first story in the collection, The Sneetches, tells of a group of yellow bird-like creatures called the Sneetches, some of whom have a green star on their bellies. At the beginning of the story, Sneetches with stars discriminate against and shun those without. I remember this one. We had this one. Maybe read some Hamilton on a future show. You might be onto something. That Hamilton, people go nuts for the Hamilton. Maybe Lin-Manuel Miranda will tune in. Heather LaRocca, Laura Ryder, Craig Salee. People are coming in. It's good stuff. All right. Sneetches and Other Stories. Here we go. I hope Bob is sitting there with you, Heather. Quick, get the kids. This is a children's book. Now, the star belly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big. They were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star belly Sneetches would brag, we're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches. I didn't read that very well. We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain belly sort. And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. When the star-bellied children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain bellied children had none upon theirs. When the star-bellied sneetches had frankfurter roasts or picnics or parties or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-bellied sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day, it seems, while plain-bellied sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean." Perfect. "And I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. And he said, "You want stars like a star-bellied sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clamored inside that... Excuse me. So they clamored inside. Then the big machine roared, and it clonked, and it bonked. And it jerked and it burked and it bopped them about. Woo. But the thing really worked. When the plain-bellied sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your frankfurter parties." I went to a couple of those in college. "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best sneetches, and they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know? They all frowned. "If which kind is what, or the other way round?" Then came up McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who. That is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best sneetches on the beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 each." "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like the sneetches who have them on theirs." And that handy machine worked very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout. "We know who is who. Now there is no doubt. The best kind of sneetches are sneetches without." Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you probably guess, things really got into a horrible mess. There's a lot of sneetches. All the rest of that day, on those wild, screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machine, they raced round and about again. Changing their stars every minute or two, they kept paying money that kept running through, until neither the plain nor the starbellies knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. Then when every last cent of their money was spent. The fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove his car up the beach. They never will learn. No, you can't teach a sneetch. And look, he's got all the money. All the money. But McBean was quite wrong. I'm quite happy to say that the Sneetches really got quite smart on that day. The day they decided that the Sneetches are Sneetches and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches, that day all the Sneetches forgot all the stars and whether they had one or not upon bars. The end. There you go. Sneetches. Published in 1961 by the not doctor, Theodore Seuss Ted Geisel. And that is our reading for tonight. Tomorrow, now remember, if you weren't here at the beginning of the show, tomorrow I'll be reading this for all the graduates, not just the Summit High School graduates, all the graduates all over the country. So if you have a grad in your family, tell them to tune in, and I'll read it for them quite gladly. That was good. Oh, the places you'll go. It's for our seniors. This book is 98.75% guaranteed to inspire. So there you have it. Who do we got here? Hi, Kate. What do you want to hear in a Southern? That's a good question. What do you want to hear in a Southern accent? The producer asked this question in the chat. Craig Silly suggested Hamilton. Bree suggested something else not too long ago. I don't remember what it was. I read that to my son nearly every night. Loved it. Thank you, Laura Ryder. Do you cook him boiled chicken and put it in his bowl too? Your son, remember the dog? Never mind. All right, Dr. Brian. Hey, I hope your Coronavirus Today podcast is going well, or COVID-19 Today, whatever it's called, is going well. Dr. Brian was the TV doctor at my TV station in Philadelphia. He's tuned in. Thanks for tuning in, Dr. Brian. Okay. Is that it? Is Bree here? Mm-mm. No. All right. That is going to do it for me tonight. Now remember, tomorrow it'll either be early or at the same time. I'm not sure yet. We have to figure out what. The producer and I have to confer on what time we're going to be able to do this because of the possibility of me using my equipment to live stream a young man performing music here in the neighborhood. On the what? On the curbside. His name is Bo Thomas. I used to play drums with him at a bar down the street. He was on The Voice. He kicked me out of the band. That's a whole nother story. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. It is Friday, May the 22nd. The year is 2020. The coronavirus, coronapocalypse, COVID-19, stay-at-home order, lockdown, slowly but surely is being lifted. In other parts of the country, I know folks are going to restaurants and eating hot dogs and enjoying themselves. We're not doing that quite yet here in Summit County, Colorado, but hopefully we will soon. I'm hearing rumblings of June 1st being a day where people are talking about the possibility of maybe things start opening up, because the exciting thing that I've just learned today is that High Side Brewery, which is my favorite local brewery, has transformed their kitchen from being what they were into a barbecue pit. So locally brewed beer, locally smoked meat. I may never leave.
Restaurants are June 12th.
Are they? That's a real date?
That's the date they're shooting.
Okay, the producer has just informed me that June 12th is the date that restaurants are supposed to be opening up, and there's these parameters of 8 feet between tables, no more than 6 people in a party. Everyone's got to wear masks in the restaurant. Mm-hmm. Servers have to wear gloves. We're going to have to lift up our mask, stuff in some chicken wings, and then put the mask back down. It'll be good. Thank you for tuning in. I love all of you. If you do the neighborhood thing, will we be able to see it? That's a good question. No, I do that for my dog, though. I know you do it for your dog, Laura. That was the joke. Is that the same dog? Like, we lived in Michigan 17 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that the same dog? And do you still hate Modest Mouse? That's a question.
You'll tell me when I listen to both.
Yeah, I'll figure that out. Because I was going to let Bo post it on his, but I can host a watch party so that it is possible. So we'll figure that part out. Bo Thomas, maybe tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good Friday night. We are making pizza and pizza balls tonight. Producer just rolled her eyes and said, I guess. So we'll see how dinner goes tonight. My name is Merv. Thanks for tuning in, and please wash your hands. Good night.